Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Pour. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Brian.
And today, first we're going to say a little cheers to its opening day. You can see I've got my Cardinals stuff on, and Brian's got the enemy on.
I got my Cubs stuff on.
No, not the enemy. Not the enemy. But anyway, we thought we would have since it is opening day, and
one of the best days of the year. So.
Easily should be a federal holiday if you ask me. It is not, but we're going to sip a little bit of bourbon. We just thought this would be a lot of fun, and Brian here has brought over some baseball-themed bourbons. Yeah, so let's talk through.
So I did a search, and honestly, there's not a whole lot of them out there. Right. There was a rum that was a baseball bat, and I thought that was pretty cool. It was a Dominican run. Right. I've never seen it, so I don't know if you can. And I don't have that, so I didn't bring that. But one of them I brought was this Cooperstown distillery. It's Abner Doubleday edition. It's shaped like a baseball. Hopefully you can see that well enough, but it's really cool. Yeah, cool. Very cool bottle. The juice inside I'm not going to brag on because it's not all that great. Yeah. But whenever they did a good job on the presentation with the bottle.
Packaging is cool.
Yeah, packaging is good. So it looks cool on your bar top or
any baseball fan
sitting there, baseball fan,
cool.
And it's my son has one, and it's his decanter. Yeah.
I like it.
So he refills it with other stuff
so,
that he likes.
Did Maker's Mark used to do like team theme bottles?
Yeah, okay. I know you can find like Jim Beam, the basic white labels you can get that'll have like the I forgot I did have a Cubs one of those I could have brought.
Oh, darn the luck.
And this was one I picked up in Chicago, so I don't know if it's outside of Illinois, but it's a Clark and Sheffield bottled and bond. Which, if anybody is a Cubs fan, it's Clark, Sheffield, Addison, and Waveland. Those are the streets around Wrigley Field. Yep. So that's kind of a spinoff on that. I believe this is sourced from Barton's. What says it right on there? Yeah. It's a 100 proof.
It's a bottled and bond.
Bottled and bond. That one is delicious. Yeah. So that would be a good pour if you could get access to that. But the one we're actually going to try tonight is the Field of Dreams. Which just came out last year. Was the first edition they made.
Batch 1, yep.
Yeah, batch 1. And like I said, I don't know a little history on it. Drew Storen is the guy that originated this bourbon, and he's a ex-baseball player. He's from Brown County or Brownsburg. I'm sorry, Brownsburg, Indiana. And he had this vision of what he could do. He approached the guy that farms the cornfield at the Field of Dreams, and he asked him what he did with that corn, and he said, "Well, I sell it at market." And he said, "I got a better idea for you. We're going to make some bourbon out of this." So he bought 500 or I don't know what it was. It was a bunch, several bushels.
However much it was to produce 22,860 bottles, right?
Right, yeah. And that part of you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Do you know why they did that?
Sure, yeah. So that represents the number of people who are in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, right?
Nope, that's played in Major League Baseball.
Oh, that's played in Major. Oh, yeah. Good Lord, 22,000. Yeah. Okay, that's the number of players at that time that have played in the history of the sport to reach the big leagues. That's super cool. So
when you're for bourbon. Part of bourbon is the story and the presentation. The bottle is cool looking. The story's even better.
Yeah. And you have bottle 3,112, and it says this here it's distilled in Minnesota and Michigan, produced by Field of Dreams Whiskey Company in Mishawaka, Indiana. The Field of Dreams was in Iowa. Yeah. Okay. The Iowa Cubs, huh? Yeah. And just so before we move on any further, I don't want to hear it anymore. We've got Harry Carey and a Cubs baseball bat behind my bar.
I'm hoping you can see it.
Yeah. So I added the one time only that I'll allow it.
Yeah. Anyway, we had to make this backdrop a little bit better. Even though the burn point looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
A lot of the Cardinal stuff is kind of bleeding over, so we wanted to try to offset that a little bit.
Happy to do it. To be honest with you, Brian, a lot of people would be surprised to hear this. In 2016, when the Cubs made it to the World Series, I was for the Cubs to win it. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really a baseball fan first. I mean, I love the St. Louis Cardinals a lot. But kind of primarily a baseball fan, and to see the Cubs win the World Series.
After 108 years, it's kind of hard not to root for somebody to win.
Yeah. Didn't think I'd ever see it. Now I don't have to ever see another one again. Yes. So. Let's take a little nose on this Field of Dreams.
So it's definitely an earthy smell.
Yeah.
kind of a little musky.
Maybe like a touch though of cinnamon,
Yeah,
or
cool.
nutmeg or something. Not a whole lot of sweetness to it though.
No, it's
maybe,
not a sweet. It's not a sweet bourbon.
Yeah,
and
that
got some
said
different elements.
distilled. I wonder if it was aged, where it was aged at. It doesn't really say if that's because it was in a cooler climate. If it was aged in Minnesota and Michigan, might be a cooler climate.
Right, right.
All right, let's go in for a sip. This is 93 proof, and I'm not overwhelmed with a lot of flavor.
No, there's not a lot that comes through. Actually, you kind of get it's kind of an oak, but it's a
Tannic
oak.
Yeah,
it's like
a drying.
It's a drying, and it's different. Like I said, I don't want to knock a local guy from Indiana that's
super cool.
That's done something really cool, but it does. It's about 65 to 70 retail.
Right.
Looks very cool. Obviously, see, I went through about half of it. And I bought it last year, so it's cool. I don't know if they're doing batch 2. I haven't heard if that's coming out or not.
Distill it and they will buy.
Yeah, I'm certain they will.
I like the movie better than the bourbon, but you know what? It's not the worst thing.
No,
I mean,
I've had worse, but like I said,
it leaves pretty quickly.
Yeah. But with it being, like I said, opening day of baseball, we wanted to give you some options of what you might be able to have as a pour while you're watching your first game, regardless of who your team is. As long as you're out there rooting and it's all in good, it's all in good fun. There's a lot of games out there, a lot of teams out there. They all need supported. So
that's right. Any predictions for the Cubs this year, Brian?
Well, I think we're going in the right direction. I think we're letting some of our younger guys play, and I think we're going to be better than we were last year. Our division's not real strong for either one of us to come through and win. So I do predict one of us to come out on top of that. I'm hoping it's the Cubs.
You're more optimistic than I am.
Yeah, St. Louis they just somehow always do okay. They may not be the best out there, but they always do. They do good.
Right, and you have a new manager.
We do.
So
we do. One of the
that
best.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, one of the best on the market.
So at least they paid him that way, right? So for me, predictions for the Cardinals, I think it's going to be another long year for the Cardinals. You know, last year we were in last place for the first time since like 1990, and finished almost 30 games below 500. I don't think we've made enough moves to improve. Now the off-season acquisitions that we made, I would feel better if it was 2014 rather than 2024. And I love Lance Lynn and I love Matt Carpenter, but I kind of want to turn the page.
A few years since
that's okay. But still going to be a Cardinals fan, still going to watch the games. But I really appreciate you bringing this over. Cool story, cool bottle. Check these out if you get the opportunity. And enjoy the baseball season. Like we always say too, when you're with your friends and family, always share your whiskey.